Hey everyone, welcome. Jen O'Sullivan here, and we are going to dive into a little bit on sugar and the ramifications and part of the potential issues that it might be causing in your life. And also the thought behind the kind of disassociation or feelings that you are fine or you're healthy and you pretty much watch your sugar. I will tell you what happened to me several years ago is I was frequenting this burger place here in California called The Habit. And there was this older woman there that always was there, and she was overweight and just normal, like kind of a normal overweight person, nothing huge or big, just kind of, padded. And I watched her because we would go every week, and I watched her like rapidly lose a lot of weight. And for probably about a year or two, she just stayed thin. And finally I asked her, like, so what'd you do? She said, I just stopped eating processed sugar. And I said, really? That's it? She said, that's it. I just stopped eating processed sugar. So that has always stuck with me. One of the things as I've grown older, I'm almost 48, getting older and watching my metabolism slow down and blaming my metabolism and blaming my hormones and wondering why I was gaining so much weight. And I got to about 30 pounds overweight, and again, just was really confused, scratching my head, quite frankly, because I would watch what my husband would eat compared to what I would eat. And I was eating tons of vegetables, some fruits, but really like no gluten. I was very clean of an eater. And couldn't figure out, how on earth, because I would watch the sugar consumption he ate and would think what I'm eating is nothing. So when I would compare another person's diet and watched that they didn't gain any weight, I thought, well, I was comparably healthy. So I believed the lie that I was eating healthy until I actually started tracking it. Now, some of you know I'm a big fan of MyFitnessPal, the free version. That's all I use. I don't pay for it. So just you can go on there, get the free version, just decline the fee that they ask you for. And I like to track the macros to see kind of where I'm at, how many, what am I eating in the shape of carbohydrates to fats to proteins, and then look at the analysis of the sugar and all of that. And one thing that is so overwhelmingly fascinating to me is the amount of hidden sugars that are found in things. So as I started looking at different labels and just the little added sugar here, added sugar there, I started realizing that my sugar content of added sugar was way higher than it should be. Now, the average they say is around like I think 70 grams, or really like they say to keep to around 40 grams of sugar a day, which really isn't that much. So if you start looking at your sugar consumption, and one thing I'm going to do with you guys in another video is go over some of the days that I thought was healthy when it was really bad, like looking at yogurts that you're eating that have tons of added sugar, looking at, fruit drinks that you think are healthy for you. And, some of us think, well, I'm drinking organic orange juice. Well, really pay attention because, it's just like loaded with sugar. So if I think about fruits, things like that, because we think, well, it's healthy. Well, again, we have to look at the fruit source and the fact that most of our fruit sources have been hybridized. So hybridized is not genetically modified, right? That's bad, like we know that. But the majority of our fruit, even organic fruits, are hybridized, because hybridization is just taking two things and kind of putting them together. So just in a clear basic sense, okay? So some things can't populate on their own and they have to be, helped along. They don't have seeds like bananas. So there's just, things have to be grafted. There's other ways of them doing it. But what's interesting is, if you've noticed, I mean, now it's like easy peel bananas, seedless or easy peel oranges, right? Seedless oranges, seedless watermelons. You've got apples that are much bigger and round and perfect, and the color is perfect. And, there's just this perfection that the market or the industry wants us to have. We went and bought bananas the other day, and they were all super green, and we had to find bananas that were sort of not green. Again, they have to be perfect. And when somebody's going to eat a banana, they're only going to eat them if they're perfect. They're not going to eat them if they have a dent on them. They're not going to eat them if there's a bruise on them. They're not going to eat them if they're too green or if they're too ripe looking. It's wild that our brains always gravitate to perfect. You know, when you sit there at the grocery aisle and you're looking at just the right tomatoes and you're just kind of comparing them and judging them. And honestly, at the end of the day, the heirloom would be better. Heirloom is a variety of species, basically, of your plant life that you might be consuming in fruits and vegetables that are closer to the original source. And so those are the seeds were from original, which means you're going to get funky colors. You're going to get brighter, like kind of deeper, darker colors. It might be a more bitter tasting fruit or vegetable. And that bitter taste is what holds most of the nutrients. So all of our fruits and vegetables have been hybridized out. I mean, look at sweet corn, for example. It's like the whiter it is, the less color it is, and the sweeter it is, the better it is. Well, you've just basically eliminated all of the good for you nutrients. So part of the thing here, when we look at our bodies and how our liver functions and how our pancreas might start shooting insulin at you to kind of help with whatever this hybrid sugar is, your body will pull in this sugar, so processed sugar or even hybridized sugar, and not quite know what to do with it, and it gets overrun with it. So what happens is it'll go into your liver will pull it out, like process it through, and basically you're transforming it into these bad for you triglycerides. It transforms the sugar into fat into your blood, and so you're having all sorts of issues. Okay, so sugar, again, we're looking at processed sugar and hybridized sugar. It causes all sorts of problems. Carbohydrates specifically turn directly into sugar. So we lump processed sugar and processed carbohydrates into the same category because the glycemic index is incorrect for your body. It just will process too quickly, and then your liver is overrun, and then again, it translates these into triglycerides. So and the insulin that starts pumping through your body, all of it is not good. So what ends up happening is you get an excess of visceral fat, that's your belly fat. You get weight gain, you get hormone imbalance, acne, inflammation in your muscles and joints. Your skin elasticity is poor. That means you're going to get early onset wrinkles, which is not good. Plus, it's going to drastically lower your immune system, which we don't want right now. Nobody wants a lowered immune system. So, I mean, if that's a reason for you to stop eating processed sugar and processed carbohydrates, that would be a big one. Just cut it all out. So when you look at it's taxing your blood pressure, it contributes to diabetes. It's causing, heart disease, raising your blood pressure, just all sorts of things. It's also, though, linked to depression, anxiety, dementia, all these kind of mental and mood disorders, and can cause fatty liver disease, which is not good. But another interesting thing, some of you guys are dealing with candida or fungus overgrowth in your body. Your body feeds off of sugar. Candida feeds off of sugar. Also, cancer cells feed off of sugar. That's how they thrive. So what we want to do, and I've gotten some kickback on this one because I tell you to eliminate it. And people say, well, we need glucose to survive. And that's true, but you're going to get glucose in any food that you eat. That's a natural, normal food. Most foods have natural sources of sugar in it that are good. Like a handful of cashews is going to have some sugar in it. You eat anything, there's some natural glucose which your body needs, but it only needs a little amount. So when I think about the amount of sugar that people are consuming, realistically, you should be at 25 grams or less. And again, we go back and forth on this because people will say, well, are you talking about processed sugar or regular sugar? And yes, I'm talking about processed sugar, but if you truly want to do something good for your health, I would look at keeping all of the sugar content under 25 grams or less. And that goes for men too. And I know that when you start reading all the things and they say, well, men can have more, it just doesn't do well for you. And if you look at different cultures, their sugar content is nowhere near. If you look at cultures from even 100 years ago, they might have consumed in a year what we consume in a day. Maybe, I mean, that would have been in excess for them. So I want you to remember that sugar in pretty much all forms, you just have to limit and get it out of your mind that your fruits and vegetables, you know, like the ones from the grocery store are healthy for you. I want you to look at vegetables that are higher in fiber. I want you to look at things that have a lower glycemic index. I want you to start researching this for your own health. But I also want you to consider how you can help your own craving. So I always like to give you a little bit of a solution to some of the problem here. So we know that sugar is processed sugar, processed carbohydrates is really, really bad for you. So I would encourage you to eliminate all of it. And if you can keep your actual natural sugar to around 25 grams or less, that would be ideal. If you're looking at then tracking it, because again, many of you say, well, Jen, wait a minute, I'm pretty good. I don't know that you are, because I wasn't, and I thought I was good. So that's where I want you to actually track it. So if you can do me a favor this week and just track what you eat, you think you're healthy, great. Track it and know if you're being healthy. Because if you're blaming any of your problems on, you know, just that's the way my body responds, like I don't have a metabolism. Well, first of all, you can't not have a metabolism because you would be dead. But again, it's like, okay, so let's stop blaming all of the things that are outside of our control because it's easier. And let's take control and take ownership over what I might be doing to my body. Now, when I go ahead and have a donut or a bundt cake or something, right, that I know is bad for me, I know I'm eating it and I take ownership over that and I'm okay with it because I make that choice and I'm making that choice based on what I understand. And honestly, I feel terrible after I eat it because I don't feel good because my body is not used to it. But I make a choice if I want to do that or not. And I feel okay with that. I don't do that on a regular basis. That's maybe quarterly. I might have indulge in something like that. But again, we're human and you want to have something every once in a while. But if you know the rules, you can break the rules. And then when you break the rules, I know what to do for myself to help my body get through that broken rule. And that might be an excess of digestive enzymes. And some of you who watched my video on holiday eating guide, that's what I do. I'm taking tons of digestive enzymes. I'm looking at my gut health, taking prebiotics and probiotics. I'm flushing my body as much as I can with antioxidants, lots of water. So those are the things I want you to consider. Two of our digestive enzymes are really good at breaking down processed sugar and carbohydrates. That would be detoxzyme and allerzyme. So you would load up on those. And when I say load up, I mean 8 or 9 capsules of each of them. You can't overdose on digestive enzymes. They only help you. So that's something that I consider if I'm going to have something that's not ideal for my system. You know, helping your body with certain things like Juvatone, anything from our Juva line helps with our liver. You want to support your liver, support your pancreas. There's different ways of supporting different basically, you know, systems and functions in your body, different organs in your body. But think that through. Think about the fact that when we talk about a forest fire, are you adding like gasoline to the forest fire or are you adding water to the forest fire? You know, and we want to try to add more water than gasoline. So every once in a while, sure, you know, you're going to have some gasoline on there and it's kind of like going to make things more inflamed and cause problems. But we want to balance that out. So I would love for you to start making really great informed decisions. Part of my kind of plight this year is to help us get healthy again, help us to really focus on just stop being like in our minds thinking that we're good and we're not. And I'm talking to myself there. It was like, stop the ignorance. I was so ignorant about things and I was thinking I'm fine, until it was like a snowball effect. And now I'm absolutely not fine and in massive pain. I was in so much pain a couple falls ago and I just couldn't do it anymore. So my goal again is to help you help yourself. I hope that this has been helpful and beneficial for you. Please feel free to watch any of the replays of all my other videos. We have thousands and thousands of videos, not only in the Human Body and Essential Oils group on Facebook. So it's facebook.com/groups / the human body. Anyone is welcome to join that. There are archives and archives and archives of health related videos for your body, tons of herbal supplement videos, tons of essential oil videos, all sorts of things. And then on my YouTube channel, I try to pull in more of the specific topics that you guys want to share out with your friends. So that's shareable for people who aren't on Facebook, but join the discussion on Facebook, ask any questions in the comments here, and I will be sure to get back to you. All right, again, if you haven't taken the wellness map test, take it over at mywellmap.com, and have a blessed day. All right, take care, you guys. Bye.